Hello and welcome back. A lot of my videos are going to be kind of up and down at the moment because you'll have just seen today I uploaded my video when I was in the caravan at White House Farm. That was 2 weeks my dad's been away, which I've done weekly vlogs, not daily vlogs. And next week I'm away to Berwick in the caravan for a week. So things are going to be a bit hit and miss at the moment. But like I've mentioned, the last thing you'll have heard was I bought a new car. The Jeep's sold and I've had a long weekend away in the caravan. So this is the following week. To this week I'm going to add a weekly vlog to upload while I'm away next week. So I've got the new car revealed to upload yet. And I've got last week's weekly vlog that I did while my dad was away. And what I'll do is for this week, just so I've got some stuff to upload while I'm away and there's not much content, I'm going to do it more like a weekly vlog all done into one. So rather than odd daily vlogs uploaded, I'm going to do a selection of snippets of this week to see what's in. But we're so busy, we're absolutely hectic at the moment. So it's going to have to be short, it's going to have to be sweet. I apologise, but as you guys can understand, the garage is that's my job, that's my main priority. YouTube comes second. Until you guys all help us out and promote the channel as best as you can, and I start getting 50, 60, 70,000 subscribers, then happy days. I can start putting jobs off what I get paid for and start actually doing YouTube content and putting that first. But until then, this is unfortunately how it'll have to be. So we'll quickly go around and I'll show you what we've got in. This is a family member's car. It's just getting hard up now, but it's still plodding along. As you know, one of my favourite cars, Astra G. One of my favourite engines, the 2-litre DTI. Perfect, just 100 brake horsepower, but they do pull very well, these. This is quite a rarity now. It's the SRI spec, as you can see. And also it's the diesel version. There wasn't that many of these around, especially in 5-door as well. Quite a rare car. But unfortunately, I went to check this on the lift last week, and the back spring practically fell out because it had broken. Not a big job on these, minor. And there's a lot of play on this near side front bottom ball joint, and the whole arm's getting rotten as well, so it's easier just to change an arm. So it's in for a front wishbone arm and a rear spring. But like I've mentioned, this has just been squeezed in between other jobs. It may get done later on tonight. If not, it'll get done tomorrow because that's what it's actually booked in for. Moving on to the Passat. Again, another one of my regular customers. The guy who owns this used to own my Astra for about 5 years before it come back to us, because we've owned that from practically brand new. And this is in for MOT and service. It's had an oil and filter, air filter, nothing major to kind of report on that because it gets done every year. This guy looks after his car. A few little advisories that I've had to go through with them. The back tyres are getting a bit perished. We're going to get them sorted in a couple of weeks' time, and the rear brake pads are starting to get low as well. But that electronic handbrakes on these, as you'll be aware, it's just like a button down there. I don't know if you can see that I haven't got the key. It's just a button on them. They're electronic handbrake, and they're a nightmare when you start messing with them. If we start messing with it and it jams up, we're going to miss our slot for the MOT, and it's going to cock the whole day up. So this is just going to come in a couple of weeks' time for rear pads, and while the back wheels are off, 2 new tyres. This also needs 2 front tyres as well. So not a great deal to report on that. It's just been standard work, like I've mentioned. We'll go in the garage and we'll see what we've got in. One of our own cars, unfortunately. So in here I've got a little, I keep forgetting the name of these. It's like the Peugeot Bipper, Citroen Nemo, and what's that? Fiat Fiorino, same thing. They're all just Fiat anyways. This has got a broken spring, as you can see here. I've just took that off. That's the broken piece. Just recently broken, as you can see. There's not even any rust on the brake. It's at the broken piece at the bottom. So this is going to be getting a new strut top mounting, depending on how it comes off. It is looking a bit perished. New spring obviously, and then we've managed to save the drop link. We've got our own car in, that's also got a broken spring. As you can see, that was the bottom piece there, the top. That's again just a recent break, but unfortunately, as you can see, it's smashed the strut top bearing, that area here when it's broken. So we've got a new one of them here for this, a new spring. But both these vehicles are just the usual pathetic kind of work you've got to do to access things. We've had to remove the wiper motor, we've had to remove all the scuttle panel, all just to get to this area here to take out 3 fixings. Really is pathetic. Gone are the days where you can just open up the bonnet and bang, there it is, take the 3 off. But unfortunately, that's the idea of what you call like MPVs and compact vehicles. They're ramming the engines into the dashboards. All this impact space here where it's just dead space. So again, seems to be the way. So that's all obviously stripped down off the hub. This is pretty much the same, but not quite as bad as that one, but still unnecessarily awkward, you know, like having to ram all the struts further back into here. So you've got to try and get the ratchet in there to get 3 again fixings, which have got little washers, which you try not to drop down into the insides of the vehicle, basically into the body and the chassis. And this one's obviously already off. Managed to save the drop link on this one, luckily. And there you go. So as you can see, there's not a great deal to film with this, so I'll just keep that there. That's pretty much it for today. I might put a quick snippet in when they're both ready built up, but all you're going to see is the strut back on. It wouldn't really do any kind of interesting stuff anyway, because to do all this work, I would never advise doing it at home anyways. You've got to use special equipment like this. I mean, you can get the actual start, like the press ideas, but these are a really good quality idea. So to be quite, I wouldn't really want to film doing it to give any of you guys out there an idea how to do it. You do it wrong and then you'll end off in hospital, because believe me, working with springs, I would say, is way up, probably the top most dangerous job of working on any part on any vehicle, apart from like smoking next to a fuel leak to blow yourself up. But apart from that, springs are the most dangerous things in garages for injuring people, smashing people's faces, and I mean actually having to get plastic surgery where it knocks your teeth out. I've had basically there's enough force on one of them springs to blast their way through a thin brick wall, put it that way, on some of the bigger vehicles. They're not to be messed with. Really could actually kill you. So again, that is some kind of work I would film, and others I won't, but I tend to find it's better to do a bit of a walk around of an introduction of what I'm doing, just so you guys see, I'll think twice about buying a Scenic if you've got to do that to change a spring, or look at that when this falls off this, or something. I'm just giving you little ideas, little insights into my working day. If I start going into in-depth on every single job I do, it's not viable. It wouldn't work on YouTube, because crikey, you spend a whole day doing jobs. I can't really have a whole day's worth of videos, can I? You know, it wouldn't be right. So just let us know your opinions on it. Naturally, on my own projects, I can go a bit more in depth, showing you like I've done with the Jeep when I dropped the sump and this, that and the other, and the wheels getting done. But when it's customers' cars, I'm not going to waste too much time on a video, because they want the car done and they want to get it back. So I'll leave this here. I might do a quick snippet when they're readily built up, but there'll be nothing else to see. It'll just be them back together with a nice new shiny coil spring on. It's not like getting a set of wheels reconditioned or putting a whole new exhaust on where you can see before and after. It's a whole load of faff, and it doesn't really look no different at the end. So I'll leave it there. Like I've mentioned, we've got a fully packed day tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, and I'll just do little, like this is 8 minutes up to now, and I'll try and keep them 10 minutes a day, and that means you're going to get like a 40-minute video where it'll be when I'm away, but I've still got last week's to upload, as well as this week's, as well as the new project reveal. So I've got plenty of stuff in the pipeline, but I've had a lot of downtime and difficult times to video at the minute, so I apologise to you. But I'll catch you very soon. It'll just be like that to you guys in tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. Well, this is part of Wednesday's vlog, but I'm adding it in now just purely because I've got time. So obviously the van's done, it's gone. That's what was left of the spring on that one. This broken piece here, that's what was left of the Scenic. I've actually just put that in the bin. That was just had totally smashed the bearing at the top, which always goes to show when your spring breaks, it can do a lot of damage. And that's actually not a lot of damage. Normally they can burst your brake lines and everything. So I've got this Astra in. Again, another spring related job and wishbone arm. So I just want to show you what happens with these when they break the springs. They're not nowhere near as difficult to do as these, but again, it's quite alarming. So with this, I know for a fact it needs front tyres, front arm and a rear spring. But this is done. As you can see, it's all got to go back together, wipe the motors off, but we've got it in place now. You get all the new fitting kit with the strut top bearing, and that's the new spring ready fitted. So this one, we'll just see if it does what it did last time. So we'll take the lift up. And last time, it just fell on the floor. So as you can see, this wheel, I think what it's done is it's managed that. There we go. So just pull it. There we go. There's your spring. What the problem is with these ones is with the lowered suspension, because this is the SRI, the springs don't really have much pressure. So the car would drive perfectly fine all day long with the weight on it. But if you went over a humpback bridge or a level crossing, which are very much unlevel, that's a weird way of putting it, that a level crossing, because they never are, yeah, your spring would just drop out like that and leave your wheel hanging like this is. It's just kind of attached. So I've got a new spring to go on this. On the back, I normally would change them in pairs, but there needs to be a little bit of discussion about how much money they want to spend on the car. So doing purely just what needs done. So that's the spring to go on. I've got the new one ready in the box, which I'll show you, because it's a lowered one, and the lowered ones are very different on these to the standard type. Hence, there's never any pressure on them. See, they've got the compacted coils at the bottom. So that's to be going on. We've got the arm, which is down here, Delphi one. And the reason that's going on is, I don't know if you can see that, there's a lot of play in the bottom ball joint. And you can just see the little bit of play. So you probably can't see that on camera, but there's play in that bottom ball joint. And judging by the arm, it's not in a good way. So if somebody works it, it's more side to side, it needs to go on that one. It's hard to see on camera, but that is definitely playing it. But these arms to get pretty weak. I've seen them go quite badly. And obviously these front tyres as well, the edges are getting worn. That one as well. So let's get them sorted. So yeah, get the arm sorted, get the spring done, and this will be tomorrow. I'll get back to you tomorrow when this is done, but there'll be a whole host of other jobs that are coming in then. So I'll leave this one here. So there we go. It actually isn't Wednesday yet, it's still Tuesday, but we decided to get this one out the way. But there's the state of the old arm. I would have quite imagined that'll be the original 2004 arm, so it ain't done too bad. So that's the reason why we haven't just changed the ball joint on it. Why would you waste your time on an arm like this with that level of corrosion? So just leave that. That's done. The back spring, like I've said, it is correct to fit them in pairs, but you've got to remember, when you're dealing with cars worth very little money, you've got to put economy before, you know, like what you're spending. Is it economical to do it? No, it's not. And that spring is perfectly serviceable condition, and it's exactly the same brand, I know for a fact, I fitted it a few years, is that. So like I've mentioned, the lower end springs, they fit nice and easily, minimal strip down and required, but like I've said, the wheel still had to come off to get the bolt off, so we'll put it into place. So that's that done. I've been under, there's been a few oil leaks on this. Again, it's just getting a bit tired, this car now, and I've washed as much of it off as I can with the brake cleaner, and I've put a Lucas additive into it, and hopefully that'll do the trick. But what it's hard to explain to people is there's more than one leak here. There's from the crankshaft oil seal, there's something coming from further up on a pipe, the rocker box cover is leaking, there's all bits around the back end of the turbo breathers. So it's put the leak sealer in, and to be quite honest, see how it goes. The arm's done. Like I've said, that's a brand new arm on, that actually went okay. So like I say, it kills two birds with one stone. We've got the new ball joint on, two new bushes and a nice solid new arm. It's the right way to do things, and as done the usual, covering things up here, just so if they need to come off again, they don't get too badly corroded with the wax oil, as you can see. The tyres, they are in a state, but that's due to these arms setting everything out of track. So I'm going to send these tyres off to be done, so that's something that'll be getting done tomorrow. But bar that, that's this one done. Just wanted to show that. So whatever's in tomorrow, I'll do little snippets through the week. Let us know if you like it. Doing it like that, it's easier for me, to be quite honest, because if I do a daily vlog every day, having to sit every evening, edit them, and you've got to do things called tagging that take ages. So it just means that I'll just upload one longer video a week rather than doing, say, 2 or 3. But you know, you always get the weekend stuff anyways, what I'm doing with a caravan, and then you get me projects and stuff like that. So it never just ends off being one video a week, it's more than that. So we'll leave that here. Today's still Tuesday, so I've obviously got the full rest of the week, so I'll keep this nice and short, and I'll just put on any kind of highlights or nice to see work done. But like I've said, when you're under a bonnet on a car working for hours, there's not a great deal you can do. So, here's the Thunder coming, 2 of them. There we go. They'll be going out through the woods shortly. So, as you can see, that the wood's just there. Lovely, just walk straight through them and back home. But there's been some nasty showers today. But there's no point in talking too much about the current weather because I've still got last week's vlog to upload. I've still got my new project reveal. So if I go about you guys, what's it been like today on Tuesday the 24th of May, this will probably be getting loaded up like next week when I'm at Berwick. Weather, signal dependent, because it took my last one I did on me caravan and trip, the signal was good enough to stream videos, but uploading it literally took a whole day. Chewing on the battery on my phone, it was a nightmare. So we'll see how things go. But please, I'll say it again, just remember, this is the summer kind of time. I have got holidays booked. We have been busy at work. My dad's been off. So you've got to understand there is times I can get more content in than others. So, catch you tomorrow. There's no point in saying thanks for watching. I'm still getting used to this. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll leave it at that. Hello and welcome back. This is Wednesday's vlog. A quick one because things have just getting really hectic here as per usual. Problem after problem. So, get on to what I've got in here. Vauxhall Mocha 15 plate, very few miles. How many miles? 48,000 miles. Just clicked my fingers and thought, yeah, this will be fine, no problem for the test. Done oil and filter. This is the 1600 non-turbo one. And just to show you why not to fit cheap filters, but I will make a disclaimer, even if you fit a genuine Bosch or MAN one, you can still have problems with these because they do actually... I don't know how they do it so bad. The oil gets that saturated with petrol. I have not twisted this filter like this to remove it. I just want to make a disclaimer there. That's how they go. They just go like this. They get very brittle and start falling to bits. It's been like this with Vauxhalls for years now. But this is a very cheap quality filter. What is it again? Comline. And I know I've been watching a few of my people who there's Comline there. A few people I've been watching on various channels have been sponsored by Crossland and Comline. They're claiming it's OE quality and that. It's like, well, show me a brand new car out the factory and take the filter out of it, and if it says Comline on it, I'll put my thumbs up and say that's original equipment. I've already showed you guys on hundreds of other videos what's original equipment, what isn't. But yeah, just wanted to show you the state of that oil filter. That had only been in there a year. We've done very few miles, so that's very, very important with these Vauxhalls to regularly change the oil, and especially the filters with good quality ones. So yeah, that's done. Air filter done. General check over underneath. I didn't expect to see this mess. Underneath, the CV boot is completely split in half. All the way around the whole thing. So that needs done for the MOT. Some cowboys been on previously with it and knocked up all this hub nut. So somebody's fitted some bloody a universal one or something to it and made a right bodgery of it on a 15 plate car, which is also typical of what I tend to see from the general workmanship of vehicles nowadays. Onto this, a Kia Ceed. Probably the most awkward set of back brakes I've looked at in a while. First up, there's the caliper carrier itself. This unit here, the caliper carrier, is the bottom bolt of it is actually inside here of the arm, the actual rear arm, and to get in here with anything reasonable, I've got a feeling we're not actually isn't in for this today. It's just in for pads, but you would have to drop this whole arm off by the look of it, just to gain access to the bottom caliper carrier. Secured. I can't figure that one out. And again, it's the usual awkwardness here. The pads have a special little lug on them. At the bottom there, the little lug, this here, so instead of just winding the piston back, not only you need a special tool, which is standard procedure, you need to have them properly lined up, so when the piston comes out, the little grooves inside of it, which I'll show you, those there, like 4 little dimples, like the nipple on that pad needs to line up. The nipple on that pad needs to line up the bottom one with that, so it needs to be directly as I've got it up and down. Just another piece of completely unnecessary awkwardness to work on a vehicle. So yeah, that's to be done. They're wound back, pads in, get this one out the door. As you've seen yesterday, I worked late. The Astra's done and out the way with. So that's that one, going to be away shortly. Swing this, and I'm getting the Fiesta ST in, hopefully for MOT later on today, and another Fiesta ST in tomorrow, along with a big Sprinter van for all-terrain, like a what do you call it? All-season tyres, genuine Mercedes drop links on the back of it, just like a working van. Drop links, the shackles, the U-clamps need tightened, and the handbrake needs adjusted, all while the back wheels are off, as well as God knows what else is coming in. So I'll keep this one short. I won't even have time to do a recording when they're done. It's just basically fitting a set of rear pads and fitting this. But the issue we've got with this is very narrow fitment, and we've got hundreds of sockets lying around and none of them fit. So my dad's currently out going to see another local garage to see if they've got anything that will. So it's just caused a total massive delay. Now this is in for MOT. We're probably going to end off missing the slot, and it's totally cocked the day up. This is why I'm just doing a quick video, because as soon as my dad gets back, if he catches us on the phone, without need to be getting on with this Kia, not good. As I mentioned, garage comes first, YouTube comes second, but this is the only opportunity I've got. So I'll catch you tomorrow. There's not a great deal to show on this. If anything else comes of interest in this afternoon, not today, I'll simply switch the camera on and record it. Catch you soon. Hello and welcome back to Thursday's vlog. Just saying about the background view, it's a lot different today. Nice sun yesterday with bits of rain, but now today it's very much overcast. So just a bit of a cock up today on a few counts. We've had 2 cancellations. We had discs and pads on a Nissan Qashqai, which is going to have to go back. That they've forgot it and took the car to work. And there's a little Corsa for pre-MOT, which was meant for tomorrow, but we rebooked it for the day, and then he rang up and cancelled. But it's due to hospital arrangements, so I don't tend to mind when it's genuine reasons like that. So if anything, since the Corsa's cancelled tomorrow, it's given me a spare bit of time to get the work done that's in and get the caravan moved across the road, because like I've mentioned, we're going to the car show on first thing on Saturday morning, so that's sort of okay. So what we've got in the day, bit of an unusual kind of mix of cars, because they're 2 of the same cars, which are quite rare, as in what we work on at least. Got 2 Fiesta STs in. This one over here, oh, that's hiding away over there, and Dan from Stakeford Tyres. I think this is Jake's car. We'll see how much money it can make him spend. Get his hand in his pocket. Dan was saying don't go easy on him, so we'll see what's wrong. I think he's done something. He's had a blowout or had a crash. Let's go over and have a look. Let's get him panicking. Let's see how much money he's going to have to spend. I don't honestly know what's gone on with it. I think he's had a blowout or something. Seems to be not a normal tenant, so I don't know. He's had a blowout and something's making a noise at the front. But according to Dan, he says that he thinks there's a lot wrong with it. So we shall see when we get it up on the lift, and I shall record it. Unfortunately, for a light bit of entertainment for us, but not so light entertainment for Jake. I'm only taking the mick, mate, don't worry. We'll get it sorted, we'll have a look and see what's going on with it. But we'll have a look at this Fiesta, which was on one of my previous videos, which we did all the brakes on it. Rear bushes, because that's a common fault with them. It's got all nice, I quite like these tyres. I don't know, I mean, I'm no expert in them, but the Uniroyal Rain Sport 5s are meant to be quite a good write-up on these. But this was in a few weeks ago. It had brand new rear discs and pads. It had, what else did it have? New rear axle bushes. And then, as you see, we've been around coating all the usual places on these that rot on the rear beams. It's had an exhaust repaired, not done by us. I've gone round all the pipes. Key note with these, they do on the EcoBoost at least anyway. Yeah, and obviously these have a stainless steel, well, what do you think is stainless steel? High pressure fuel lines, and we've had a one, which is funnily enough, over here, on this wall, and they actually rot in one particular place, and they're very high pressure in the leak, and they're really expensive, so we always coat them now. because we know that's a problem. I know that was on a Focus, but it doesn't mean it's exactly the same system on these Fiestas because they go under here. This had new track rod ends as well from Ford, cost a fortune, and Ford's the only company that do them. Front discs and pads it had, and we've just been on doing a service with a genuine filter there. We have Man one, which is exactly the same as Ford, and just to show you on here, it's getting the proper genuine Ford oil, as well as an air filter, and the platinum spark plugs are questionable. We need to ask them to see what they want to do with it. And it's been MOT'd as well. So that's done. Let's see what's going on with this other Fiesta. And obviously I'm doing a few things on my own car. I was trying to question myself there. I had to pause the video. This video will be out after I've done the reveal. So yeah, Leon, which I'm doing some videos on, trying to inspect some cowboy work that's been done. I've got the timing case off. I'm not going to go too much into this because I'm going to do a separate video on this in a second, on a separate video for the Project Leon. So yeah, I'll cut this one out now. Once we've got the other Fiesta on the lift, we'll see what is right or wrong and see how much Jake's going to be crying when he gets the build back. I'm sure Dan will be having a good laugh when we see what's wrong with it, because he does like winding them up. They're good guys, but he does like winding Jake up. But it's all just in good humour. But we'll see what's wrong with it. So I'll catch you soon when that's on the lift. Right, so the second Fiesta ST, not looking good, Jake. You've got a knackered tyre for a start. Right down to the markers on that one. This brake pipe here has been leaking. I've got no idea why that was slack. May or may not have cured the fault. We've just tightened it up a little bit. And as for the knocking noise, this bottom arm, you hear that? It's actually, you see the ball joint there actually moving on the arm. I shouldn't be able to do that. So that's about ready to drop off. So you need a new arm, but the ST only. You can't get the standard Fiesta arms. Keep a check on that brake and a tyre. So yeah, good job you brought it in, but unfortunately we can't get any parts unless it's from Ford. So that's that. I'll leave that there for what day is it? Thursday's vlog, and I'll catch up. Actually no, there's a van coming in later on. We'll get the Sprinter on the lift, and that's getting all the brakes adjusted, drop links, genuine Mercedes ones, and rear tyres, all seasons put on. So I'll get back to you when the Sprinter's in later on. Welcome back to the final part of the day, and yes, you can fit a high top medium wheelbase Sprinter on a 4-ton lift, because that barely even weighs 2 and a bit ton empty. So yeah, that's that big heavyweight on there. So what's it in for? Right, tyres are down to the wear indicators, which we've been monitoring for a little while. As you can see, they're really now flush with the wear indicators all the way around. Obviously the edges look okay, but on the centre, it's like on that one, it is really flush with it now. So it's getting 2 all seasons, because it's obviously the start of summer now, and if I were to put winters to match the front ones on, it wouldn't match. And then obviously if I put normal ones on, he's going to find when it comes to winter, the rear wheels are going to get traction. So I'll put some all seasons on. They're longer wearing. I'll show you when they come back, and obviously they'll do all the different conditions. So what else this is in for? We're going to adjust the handbrake, which you've got to get through these holes. You've got to get the light in. It's a bit fiddly, but adjust the handbrake shoes up. These rear drop links have got a lot of play in them. So I've got 2 new genuine Mercedes link arms to put on this. Those there, and these shackles, they need tightened a little bit as well because they become slack. So I'll just quickly show you what I've got here. Genuine Mercedes parts. They're the new drop link arms, and obviously new fixings for it. So I'll come back to you when they're fitted, and also when the new tyres are here. So yeah, happy days. Get on with this and get it sorted and get home. Catch you soon. Just a quick update. Thought I'd show you a little bit of involvement in work. I mean, it's difficult because for a start it's windy, and I'm desperate to get this van done because he needs it back. So I like to be quite organised in my way of working. I can't work in a mess. My OCD does me head in. So I've got the link arms off, as you can see. I've checked the bushings and knees, they're okay, and they go to the body. Vice versa at the other side. So there's the old units. It doesn't look like they're worn, but the inside of them are actually quite badly gone. So there's the 2 old units. I keep everything in order so you know which way everything goes. We've got the new nuts on them to go on, already in place. So what I'll do is I'll just get them into place, tighten them up, and I'll come back to you. We'll get the handbrake adjusted up. There's nothing really to show because I need to wait for somebody to be in the van to work the handbrake while we get the torch through one of these to find where the adjuster is. Thought they would have had a bigger hole, but they don't. But just a quick look under these Sprinters. They are absolutely cracking vans, mind. This has got 89,000 mile on, and there's no rust at all starting because I sprayed it when he first got it, and it really isn't good, Nick. One little bit starting on the whole van, and it's just there. But the rest of it is mint. This is definitely a van I would buy if he ever decided to sell it. I know it's been looked after. In fact, there was one thing I'm going to check from the other week, if this little lever's come off, which it hasn't, because there was a little part on the gear linkage that come off, and that's actually remained on as it should do. So happy days, because I put a bit of plastic over that. As you can see, temporary repair, that still worked over 10,000 mile. And there's the DPF there, but as you can see, the subframe and everything is like brand new. So I'll come back to you when we've got them in place, and I'll probably wait until I've got the tyres back as well. Final part of Thursday's vlog, that's the sprint I've done. So I'll just show you what's been done, showed before the taking it apart. So these are 365 a year, all year round general tyres. The front ones that are on are winters, but like I've mentioned to them, you didn't want to set a winters on at the start of summer. It's just stupid. So these will last them right through, because the front, believe it or not, these didn't scrub the tyres off too bad. The back ones, they eat the back tyres. So these are all seasons, which are basically good in snow, rain, whatever. They're not cheap, but they're what you want. If you was to put some cheapies on, they're not good on these vans, especially when you've got snow tyres on the front. So these are like a Euro van AS, all season, 365 days a year, obviously, and shows you, obviously rain, sun, leaves, and ice. So that's them ready to go on. Because obviously I showed you the one knackered. The new drop links fitted with the usual. What I've done, coated them in wax oil. The clamps tightened up. They were slightly loose, so I've tightened them up as well. And obviously adjusted the handbrake. There's nothing to see, you've had to do it through there. But none of it can get in the van because of the lift, so we're going to have to wait till it's down and check that is okay. One other thing, like I've mentioned, the bushes in this actual arm are slightly worn. I've ordered some genuine ones of them, not from Mercedes, and they're not very much money, so they're just going to get put on the bill. The guy can keep them in his glove. So we'll get it back in to do that when just whenever's convenient for him. We'll need a little push. I think we've got a little tool for pushing them out and the new ones in, but the main thing is them Ford ones, so they're totally original, exactly what you would get from Mercedes. So that's it for Thursday's vlog. We'll get these on, get it down, check the handbrake, and I'll come back to you tomorrow. There's not a great deal, but I want to keep it short because obviously I've done about 10 minutes every day, so I like to try and keep it under the 40 minutes. So catch you tomorrow. Bye. Right, these are the final pieces. Welcome back to Friday's vlog. I'll show you this little Peugeot here. I lose track what these even are. 208, I think. So this is your fantastic French quality now. Whatever, it's not nearly all of them. So you open the oil cap and see just to the side there. That is your wet belt. That's a rubber belt running in oil. And I would strongly recommend to avoid any engine with a wet belt, but you've got to use specialist oil in them. It's a special Citroen Peugeot 030. Do not even be tempted to top these up with anything other than what's required. But to be honest, any of these new Citroen Peugeot engines, and there's a lot of them out there, Ford engines, which are, funnily enough, Citroen Peugeot, avoid them. Honestly, avoid them unless you're keeping them short term, maybe for a year or two, or keep them for that 3-year warranty. But do not be tempted to buy one of these with a high mileage, like a 15 plate or something. The belt shred, and don't actually snap, but all the stuff comes off the belt and blocks the oil strainer, and you knock the engine. Or you put the wrong grade of oil in and the belt does strip, and you've knocked the engine anyway. So yeah, big thing to avoid. So this has just been getting a service, oil and filter, air filter, and they're back to the same game as what they were 20 years ago. They managed to pull themselves out of it, but they've started again with the same carry-on, ram and air filters down the back of engines, underneath wipers. It's not too bad, nowhere near as bad as the old Picassos, but back to the same tricks is what they were up to. And all this nasty, cheap stuff that just rattles about, which you've got to take off to get down the back and stuff. So yeah, up to the same game as usual. So that's that done. 4 new tyres being put on. Check the brakes. I'm just going to quickly show you. Service light needs reset. Probably about the best thing about these things is nice and simple. Switch it on. Nice big screen there with a spanner at the bottom, you see, and it's telling you it needs maintenance. I'm going to have to just try and do this with one hand. I'm just going to put you've got to hold this button in here. I have to put the phone down, switch on the ignition. Then you get a nice timer coming up. Couldn't be any more clear, could it? Good idea, I will say. These Peugeots and Citroens for the service reset. No faffing about. Job done. And then the little spanner's gone from down there, you see. So that's how you reset a service light on pretty much any Citroen or Peugeot for the last 20 years. That's one thing I will say. They do make things very easy to reset the service light. So yeah, and this engine's used in a lot of stuff, all of the new Vauxhall range, because Citroen and Peugeot now own them. So what are they called? The Greenland X and all that stuff. Just be careful what you're buying nowadays. Do a bit of research before you sign on the dotted line of what you're actually buying, because 9 times out of 10 the badge on the car isn't what you're actually buying. I mean, in these it is. They are PSA. So yeah, I'll leave this here. I'm just going to wrap this one up today. I've got a Mercedes CLA coming in with a broken spring, but there's a lot more nowadays. Again, more advice to, if you can possibly avoid, not to buy new cars, which are getting on a bit, because you'll see what I'm going to talk about now. Now you can't even change a spring without expensive programming needed, but I'll get into that when the car's here. So I'll leave this one here and I'll catch you soon. Final video of the week, I'll show you this CLA. It's a bit of an interesting one. Quite a flash looking car. Come in, I'll show you the dashboard later on. It is lit up just about every light you can think of. Handbrake malfunction, cruise control, speed limiter, oh, you name it, ABS, traction control, every single light's on. So put it up to find 2 broken rear springs. That one, as you can see, is snapped in the middle, and this one, at this side, is snapped at the top, and it's actually gone over it. And the reason why they do this is, when I bring it down now to find the lock and wheel nut, I shall show you. Right, so just a follow-on video of the CLA. Obviously, there's the 2 broken springs. That one's broken right in the middle, and that one's broken off at the top. This one's fitted on there. Obviously, we put a bit of protection back onto those. There's a new one in, and we're just waiting for the second one, because I didn't think that'd be 2 broken springs, so that kind of put we off a little bit. So, like I've mentioned with this car, I said to you that it's got 2 back broken springs, but the dashboard is lit up like a Christmas tree. I'll probably bring it down and show you. But the reason why the car knows that is due to the stability control. You've got this little lever here connected to a sensor. It controls the electronic headlights, but it also controls the stability program. And if the car is not quite sat right, it sets everything off. It's obviously the car's got like a what's that word, like a yaw sensor, G sensor, and it can detect if the car's not level. Now I'll bring it down and just show you what's going on. So we'll switch the ignition on, and it's just, obviously normally they light up anyway, but as you can see, stability control, ABS, and then it'll go to another one, park and brake, see owner's manual, and there'll be another one come up that tells you all sorts, cruise control. Have a look here. There's everything coming up. I can't start it obviously because all the springs disconnected. So what I've got to do is, I thought at first this car had what you call radar cruise control, but I don't think it does, because if they do, this badge here is like a gel one, because the radar sits behind it, and usually they have a camera up here. It's called, I can't remember the name of it, it's got a special name. And what you need to do is, when you have a broken spring, it's like a white board that goes up, and you've got to use the scanner, and it plots all the points, like top corners, centre, all this, and it gives the car like a recalibration. But I don't think this one has that, so I'm hoping, at first I thought the broken spring had cut through all the ABS wires at the back when it broke, but it hasn't, nothing's been damaged. So it's just going to be a case of fit the other spring, put the wheels on, run the car back and forward a few times, get it level, and then I'll put my scanner in and reset everything, and then hopefully that'll be it, job done. So that's my plan anyways, is to get this other spring fitted when it arrives. It was on its way at 2:30, so I'm hoping it hurries up. Get the spring on, get the wheels on, get the car on the floor, and then once it's on the floor, run it back and forwards, plug the scanner in, reset the codes, fingers crossed, that'll be the job done. If it isn't, I'll come back to you and we don't have that kind of, it's AD something systems, but we don't have that. It's very specialist equipment. It's usually main dealer or the few independents which are really like top end with stuff, because it's not cheap, that equipment. But that's just, I want to run through that with you. So now we've already done electronic handbrakes where you need specialist equipment to change some brake pads. Now if you do have a car with radar, cruise control or the camera pickup, you'll know if they've got them because they're up in my face. Know if they've got them because they're up here. This one actually hasn't got it. So now if you get a broken spring, bottom arm, a ball joint, trap rudder end, anything like that, it's got to go in legally. If the car doesn't pick it up, to have this system reprogrammed. So we're getting into really technical, serious stuff, which is another reason I don't want nothing to do in my own personal car collection of new cars. So just to change them springs, you probably have to add on an extra £150 to £200 for programming to get the system recalibrated, then a front spring brakes, then a bottom ball joint brakes. This is all fair well and good on these while they're quite new and worth a lot of money, but what's going to happen in, say, 15 years time, 10 years time, 20 years time, where the car's worth £1,000? Are you going to spend flipping, it'd still be like £100, probably even back then or more, back then in the future? You're going to find like cars like this are 15-year-old and 20-year-old being written off just because they've got a broken spring, because by the time you fit the new one, you need to reprogram everything. You go, oh, well, you don't need to, just who cares if the cruise control doesn't work? No, because it won't pass an MOT, if we still have MOTs then, if it's not something else, because your whole dashboard's lit up with handbrake faults, ABS, traction control, God knows what else. So there's the future of cars for you, and if that's the future of cars, I've got no interest in that. I really haven't. I find it absolutely at the lowest level of pathetic that just because you have a broken spring on a car, it sets up the dashboard like a Christmas tree when nothing's been damaged. Madness. Let me know your thoughts on this, because it's all fair well and good on cars under warranty, and when they're worth money like this one is, it's like, yeah, spend the money, fair enough, but you've got to remember, when if you're like I am, where you're mainly into used second-hand cars, in 15 years' time, these are going to be used second-hand cars, and I've got a feeling we're going to have a massive, massive shortage, of even more than it is now, and now is the worst it's ever been. I think we're going to have a huge shortage of cheap used cars. You're going to get to a point where a car can't be MOT'd because of something daft like a broken spring. Not the fact you've fixed the spring, the fact that it's a programming after the spring to get all the lights off the dashboard. So there we go. We're the public, we're pushing all this stuff, and maybe people should think, we'll stop buying all these new cars, but then all the used cars will go up. But who knows? I'm going to leave that there. That's this week's vlog. I've still got this will be coming out in a few weeks' time, because I've got the last week when my dad was away, I've got the new project reveal, some work I've done on the project, and then it'll be this one. I've got to be careful how I order them, otherwise I'm going to give away the project in amongst one of my other videos. So thanks for watching. Sorry that these are going into weekly vlogs now, but with daily bits added in, I just find it easier to upload one video, one lot of tags, job done, than doing it every other few days, because it does take up a lot of my time. And when I'm not finishing work till 7 and 8 o'clock, spending more than an hour messing on with the phone, it certainly puts time on my evening that I don't have. So I'll catch you next time. Bye.